The Thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parx Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome to Let's Go Racing. I'm Danny Gibson here with Craig Donnelly, and we're coming to you from Parx Racing, bringing you all the latest in horse racing and news from around the country. On today's show, it's been Parx Madness with all the excitement here at Parx. 7 $100,000 stakes races, and the trail has been blazed in the Kentucky Derby, in the Gotham, Fountain of Youth, and the San Felipe, with hopefuls emerging. But Craig, you're our resident handicapper from the PTHA, and people can get your tip sheets for free, complimentary to the PTHA. But it's great to have you here on the set, filling in for Dick.
Well, thank you very much, and I wish the fast recovery for Dick. He's a great journalist and friend. And I'm excited because we had 7 local stakes in just 2 days.
We certainly did. We got to see some good Parx horses. Well, let's jump right into it. We're going to start with the Washington Crossing $100,000, going 1 mile and 70 yards for our older boys. The Monday was the older horses, Tuesday was our 3-year-olds. But let's get right with the favorite, Dreams Untold at 8-5 for trainer John Service. What'd you think of this favorite?
Well, he's a really talented Pennsylvania bred, and he's versatile. He'll go long, short. The one question you have with him sometimes is he'll run a clunker now and then. He did last time, but he's had a tendency to bounce back from bad races. So the public respected that, and he went off the 8-5 favorite.
He certainly did. And our second choice favorite, I know you have a lot to say about Bird King at 5-2 for trainer Mike Pino.
I keep picking Bird King a few times, and he's lost. He was only like 1 for 11 last year, but he is possibly the best looking horse on the grounds, which seems like an odd statement, but this is a big, powerful horse. And sometimes I look at him and say, if the other horses look at him, they're going to want to crumble. He's just a massive beast, and he got to show that, too.
He certainly did. Well, here is the call from track announcer Chris Griffin of the Washington Crossing Stakes.
23-2 was that opening quarter for Splice, the main brace. Splice, the main brace, is up by a full length now as they're approaching the half-mile pole. Dreams Untold is right there in second, Superfly over in third. Bird King is driven along from fourth, is trying to make up some of that ground. Kingsville, backside of the moon, has got to get going, is 6 lengths off the lead. Then comes New Commission and tailing off Brooklyn Strong. Into the far turn, Splice, the main brace, confronted by Dreams Untold, and Dreams Untold right up on the outside of Splice, the main brace, who battles right on back. They're shoulder to shoulder as they're approaching the quarter-mile pole. They went 47 seconds flat for a half-mile time. Bird King is building momentum, is still 5 off the lead. Under a tight hold still is Dreams Untold. Hasn't been given the cue. Splice, the main brace, is very game to the inside. Bird King is rallying on, coming after these top 2. It's Dreams Untold who's taking the lead. Splice, the main brace, is trying to come back, and Bird King has gotten closer within a length of the lead. Bird King with all the momentum. Here's Bird King in the center of the racetrack, and Bird King has pushed on by. Bird King is your new leader. Back to second there, Dreams Untold. Splice, the main brace. It's all Bird King.
And Bird King, the hard luck horse, gets it done with jockey Angel Castillo. I know trainer Mike Pino was really happy, but you were right. He is a big, beautiful son of a gun.
Yeah, he really is. And what worked out well for him was that Splice, the main brace, figured to show speed. Dreams Untold didn't want him to get away, so he forced the pace. He had a nice, lively pace with targets in front of Bird King. He angled out in the stretch and was that big, long stride. He just ran by everybody.
Oh, he certainly did. Here's more with the winning connections.
He was coming in the race real good. You know, he's always a hard luck horse, getting a check in some tough races. And we figured we'd try him in this race. And he got a great trip, and it all worked out in our favor. And thank the Lord for that.
Well, we're going to jump right into the Penn's Landing. It's for fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs. $100,000 is the purse. And our favorite is Jakarta, the Pennsylvania bred who has done no wrong. Victor Carrasco gets the mount. She's going to ship in for trainer Michael Trombetta.
And she's run well at tracks all over the East for years, made a lot of money. Won a stake here in December against similar opposition at a similar distance. I think she deserves to be the heavy favorite, but I know she's nearing the end of her career.
Absolutely. She's going to head to the breeding shed. And second choice is my girl, Cinnabunny. Now with trainer Cal Lynch. They bought her privately out of a sale. She was in the Brad Cox barn.
And she's outstanding at times, really. She's terrific, another really good Pennsylvania bred. Funny thing is, she hasn't run since September, and her last start was in Oklahoma. So she's back home to Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. Well, here's the call of the Penn's Landing Stakes.
Hey Mama Luke has got the lead. Jakarta is not making up the ground yet. Jakarta just got passed by Shiro, and here comes Glory Dia with a big run as well. These are the leading four. Cinnabudy's got to pick it up from there. Jakarta is now dropping back through the field, is now back to fourth. Jakarta is not looking like Jakarta's firing right now, as they've got less than a quarter mile to go. Hey Mama Luke has got the lead at the top of the stretch. Glory Dia, Shiro's in pursuit. Jakarta is starting to build some momentum, but still has a lot of ground to make up on Hey Mama Luke. Hey Mama Luke for a final eighth of a mile. Jakarta is putting things together, and here comes the big favorite trying to cover the trouble. Glory Dia's got momentum to the inside. Pleading for the wires, Hey Mama Luke.
Hey Mama Luke getting it done with apprentice rider Andy Hernandez. And what's interesting about that, he carried the high weight of 125 pounds, and he's the 5-pound apprentice rider.
Well, I think what happens is he won on Hey Mama Luke last time at Aqueduct, so they know he fits her. He knows what she wants, and what she wants is to get daylight in front, let her roll. And the thing that works against her, but not this time, she will drift out in the stretch. She always does it, but you just got to let her go. She'll keep going fast. She did that again, but she stayed clear. So she won at 18-1 in New York, came back to win at 5-1 locally.
I thought she wanted a soft pretzel that I was going to hand her as she ran by, but great win by Hey Mama Luke. Here's more with the winning connections.
I was getting a little nervous. I was glad she had an easy lead. That was good. Nobody was pressuring her, and she's fast. So she got out there in front, and I knew she'd hang in there as long as she could.
And you went with the apprentice, so he
yes,
carried the extra weight.
Yes,
it was his first stake win.
That's great. Yeah, good for him. He's a good kid.
That's incredible for me. You know, that's my first stake. For that filly, 120 pounds. You know, that's pretty nice. The victory.
Well, big win for our girl. Hey Mama Luke, congratulations. Well, it's time for us to head to our first break. When we come back, lots more Parks Madness, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Hollywood Jet down the front end, 21-3, ripped through this opening quarter.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action. Welcome back to Let's Go Racing, and the $100,000 Fishtown Stakes going 6 furlongs for our older male horses, and Hollywood Jet, a deserving favorite, coming from post 11, 7-5 for trainer and owner Carlos Milan.
Hollywood Jet's always shown he's one of the fastest horses on the ground, so what he hasn't done is win a stake or run in a stake. So this was a bit of a test for him today, even though he's favored because he runs so fast and he keeps winning.
Oh, he certainly is. Well, we had two co-favorites for second choice, but let's talk about this number 3, For the Love of Bourbon, for trainer Mike Pino. We saw get a win earlier on the card at 7-2. Gets Kendrick Carmouche again, and they had a win last time together.
Yeah, they did. And the funny thing is, sometimes he seems like he's better when he settles off the pace. When he's forced to run early, sometimes he gets a little reluctant, backs off. So he's one of these horses a little bit tricky to ride, but obviously Kendrick's one of the best riders in the country.
Absolutely, I noticed that too. Well, here is the call of the Fishtown Stakes.
Hollywood Jet down the front end, 21-3, ripped through this opening quarter. Hollywood Jet is in front. Uncle Ernie right up on the outside in second. Still right there is For the Love of Bourbon. Breezy Gus, Bybee is rallying on. Also Sir Alfred James in the red cap. Prince of Rain, Midnight Charlie, Mojo Ovation still have about 5 lengths, 6 lengths to make up. Hollywood Jet, here's the test at the top of the stretch, now kicks for home, and Uncle Ernie is right up on the outside there, 1-2. Hollywood Jet is finding a touch more. Uncle Ernie continues to pursue. Sir Alfred James is making up late ground, is back there in third. Hollywood Jet is now still in front for a final 16th. Hollywood Jet, Uncle Ernie, Sir Alfred James is flying at the rail. Hollywood Jet, big time run, big time sprinter, wins.
Oh, and Hollywood Jet getting it done, and he made it exciting even before coming over. He took his time coming in the paddock. He even got a little loose, I heard, but he was well warmed up, and he got it done today.
And I think the amazing thing is the way he used to win is open up and try to hold on. Now he was actually collared on the turn, and when I saw it, I thought he's not going to win because he's only a half length in front at the quarter pole. He just kept fighting and digging in, and that's not the way he used to be, and it's a sign he's developing, getting better. He's not only fast, he's determined. And to beat a field like this, a solid field, going 6, I mean, look, he went 44-2, 110. He was flying. He deserved to win.
Some serious fractions. Here's more with the winners.
It's 5 wins in a row for him. Incredible.
Yes. This horse is very honest. He always tries his best, and it's nothing I can say like I do something on him. He's a competitive horse. He's doing on by his own. He's a nice bred horse. He's a nice horse.
He gets to the front and doesn't look back, does he?
Yes, that's what I say. He's a speed natural horse. When he takes to the lead, he get the job done, and he don't worry about what kind of company he's against. He tries his best.
Well, Hollywood Jet certainly making a name for himself here. And let's get to the fillies, 3-year-old fillies. It was from Tuesday, the main line going 1 mile and 70 yards. Our well-deserved favorite, Morning Matcha, at 1-9 for trainer Butch Reed.
Well, she's run a series of stakes. She's a filly that doesn't show a lot of early speed, but she has some serious closing kick. And yet a compact field, she had her stablemate Scarrett to at least set a lively pace. So it worked out, well, as you'll see.
Oh, it certainly does. Well, here's the call of the main line.
It's Scarrett to the backstretch. Scarrett is up by a length. Right here up the outside is Mia Tosca. As they now back off the page, Beast Days is down to the inside. Morning Matcha still patiently ridden, 23-4. An easy opening quarter here for Scarrett. Abner Adorno and Scarrett, they kick it on now, and they're up by a 2. Here comes Mia Tosca, who's under a drive in second. Beach Days at the rail in third. Morning Matcha, still waiting for the cue, is now getting a little bit closer, is within 2.5 of the lead with less than a half mile to go. 48-2 for a half mile time. Scarrett has got the lead. Mia Tosca has asked the question up on the outside in Beach Days. Morning Matcha, the big favorite, is within 2 of the lead, hasn't made up the ground yet. Morning Matcha now asks the question coming after Scarrett and Mia Tosca. Mia Tosca to challenge Scarrett, they're 1-2. Morning Matcha's gotten closer. Here comes Morning Matcha, who's going to tip out wide. Mia Tosca is the new leader. Mia Tosca with a head in front. Under a drive at the inside here is Scarrett and Morning Matcha 3 wide. Morning Matcha has taken the lead. Morning Matcha kicks it in gear, and here's Morning Matcha down the center of the racetrack is opening up.
Morning Matcha, big things to come for this filly. I know they want to get on the Kentucky Oaks Trail, and there's some big 3-year-old filly races that could come around this year. There's a big one at the end of the year right here at Parks, the Cotillion.
I can think of that, and I can also think of Butch Reed's had another good young filly in the last couple of years named V-Quest, I believe. Yeah, so we know he's good at this. He's got a ton of good horses, young horses in the barn, and this filly's got some serious closing kick. So you got to keep an eye on her. She won today by, I believe she won by 6 3/4 lengths. So pretty decisive victory.
Absolutely. Here's more with the Winning Connections.
She's been a cash cow since we bought her. We bought her relatively inexpensively, only $18,000, and she's never been worse than third in her career, and that's her 3rd win. So she's been a great find. Frankie said he chirped to her a little bit at the half-mile pole, and she jumped right in a bit, so he thought he was in pretty good shape going down the backside.
Let's jump right into the Society Hill for fillies going 6 furlongs. So these are our sprinters, and our 2-year-old champ from 2021 is our favorite at 4-5, Disco Ebo.
And Disco Ebo's back from Gulfstream, where she didn't fare well. Prior loss was against Colt, so she's back kind of on her own ground, home grounds, where she's had a load of success, winning twice by wide margins, and she's got serious speed inside. So she's back where she belongs, deserves a lot of respect.
She does. She's got those cute floppy ears that go out to the side. You got to love her. And our second choice is Starship Laoban. What a claim for trainer Jamie Ness. 6-5 second choice.
Yeah, and she's very fast, and she won her last start by 11.5 lengths, being geared down. So it's a case where she didn't beat horses as good as these, but the way she did it makes her a serious contender.
Absolutely. Here is the call of the stakes race.
Starship Laoban, Disco Ebo, perfect direction is under a drive. Kisses for Emily is getting closer within 6 of the dueling leaders with a 1/4 mile left to go. Starship Laoban, to the inside is Disco Ebo. Kisses for Emily in perfect direction, they get closer. Starship Laoban has taken the lead. Kisses for Emily is now within 4 of the leader, and they're tired up front for a final 1/8 of a mile. Starship Laoban is almost there, but here is Kisses for Emily. Kisses for Emily motoring down the center of the racetrack. Starship Laoban is game. Kisses for Emily.
Kisses for Emily runs them down with Dylan Davis coming down from New York to ride for trainer Lou Linder. This was a really exciting finish.
The amazing thing is she had a lot going for her in that she got an absolutely suicidal duel in front of her with the 2 favorites. But to her credit, she made up a lot of ground, close strongly. But the great thing is, too, for Lou Linder, this filly was a maiden. So she broke her maiden at a $100,000 race. But now you can't run in the maiden race. But this filly actually was 0 for 5 coming in, even though she'd shown talent at Aqueduct. But getting the right pace set up, she's developing well, and she runs them down. And by a sire I'd never heard of, Union Jackson. I looked up was the son of Curlin that won like 6 of 11 starts, and he stands for a mere $2,500 along the Hudson River in New York.
Absolutely. Got to give it up to those New York breds. Here's more with the winning connections.
Just a perfect trip for, with a lot of pace. And Dylan knows her, he knows to let her settle. And she just started picking it up and she got to him. The hot pace, it paid off.
Tell me about the horse. What's she like?
She's nice. She's not very big, but she's just smart, and she's got a big heart.
I liked what I saw this today when she was with the pony warming up. She had some good energy compared to her back at Aqueduct. Maybe the shipping out had bothered her a little bit, but she broke well, and there was a hot pace in front of me, which I liked, and just rode the rail as long as I could, and then was able to tip out, and she was able to keep her momentum nicely all the way to the wire.
Dylan Davis certainly was the key, getting kisses for Emily to relax, and big win for trainer Lou Lindor. Congratulations. We're going to head to another break. When we come back, we have more Parks Madness. We're going to jump into some big 3-year-old races on the Kentucky Derby Trail. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Dean's List digs down at the rail. Morello on the outside.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to Western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. We're here with Craig Donnelly, who's sitting in for Dick Girardi today. Very pleased to have Craig joining me. And let's get right back into it. Parks Madness, what an exciting week it was. The Rittenhouse Square, 6 furlongs for our 3-year-olds. And our 2001 2-year-old champ, Dance Code, is the favorite at 2-1 for trainer Juan Vasquez.
And this is a horse with a lot of talent, but he's got some quirks too. He's had a tendency to break a little slowly, and he tends to drift out or bear out a bit, and that's hampered him a bit, but he's also shown a tremendous amount of talent. So I think it's a little bit difficult to ride, a lot of abilities, first time Lasix today, and he was a slight favorite at 2-1.
Absolutely. Well, our second choice was Practical Coach, who's getting first time Lasix as well for trainer Butch Reed, 5-2 Frankie Pennington. What's your make of this horse?
You know what, he's another one that began his career like he was going to be some kind of superstar, went off 6-5 in his debut and won, and ran a couple big races. The last couple haven't been as good as expected. In fact, you notice he was 5-2, 2-1, did not hit the board. And I think they're making adjustments. They're removing the blinkers and adding Lasix. We'll see how that helps.
Yeah, and I think he really wants the turf, but we will see in a second. Here's the call of the Rittenhouse Square.
They got to catch Scaramouche. 22 flat for the opening quarter. They're approaching the quarter-mile pole. Scaramouche is still fending them off. Dance Code is not making up the ground yet. Uncaptured Spirit in between horses. Cuneo is saving ground to the inside. Looks to have some run. Scaramouche has got the lead. Cuneo is trying to rally on. Uncaptured Spirit. On the far outside is Dance Code. Scaramouche just keeps finding. Cuneo down towards the inside is now taken second, but Scaramouche is kicked away. Scaramouche is 3 in front, and Scaramouche
getting it done with jockey Sylvester Gonzalez. I loved everything about this horse in the paddock, and his last win was just so gutsy. Just what a beautiful horse by Munnings.
I love Munnings as a sire. The only question I had was, okay, he beat Maidens and he improved in his second start. Is he good enough to move on to this level? But for those who think of such thing, I hadn't seen Lupe Preciado around for a couple months. He showed up today from Miami. Must have been a positive sign. He came back up here, made the trip, and bingo.
Well, and you see who he beat in his last start, Twisted Ride, who we're going to talk about next. Here's more of the winning connections.
I rode him last time out to break his maiden, and last time he broke very sharp, and I just let him get comfortable on the lead, and he gave me a kick down the stretch. So I was hoping today either we sit right off the pace, or if he wants to break in front, he can do that. So I knew if
if we're in front, we can dictate the pace a little bit. And I knew I was going to have a horse for the finish, so he finished up great today.
Beautiful win for this big horse. Look forward to seeing him step forward. And let's get into the City of Brotherly Love, going a mile and 16th for 3-year-olds. This is our longest race on the day. We're going to see a matchup of two nice horses, but the favorite is Cavassier for trainer Kelly Breen. Trevor McCarthy down to ride.
All right, so the shipper is the heavy favorite. Coming down from New York, Kelly Breen, high-profile trainer Trevor McCarthy. But you got the two locals to beat, and they're both pretty formidable horses. And although this is a small field, it turns out to be quite a race.
It certainly does. Well, here is the call of the City of Brotherly Love.
Twisted Ride is well off the rail, smartened up to the inside, and they're tightly bunched as Cavassier and Trevor McCarthy is right in behind this leader. It's Twisted Ride is now being asked to move forward just a touch. Doesn't want to get in behind these two runners in behind, and that's Twisted Ride and Smarten Up and Cavassier. They're compact, they're up the backstretch. Twisted Ride will try and take them all the way. Smarten Up has gotten closer, 49-1 for a half-mile time. It's going to be a sprint for home. As they approach the half-mile pole, Smarten Up has moved to the inside of Twisted Ride. Cavassier is in a tight spot here. The favorite is at the back of the field of three, and they're into the far turn. Twisted Ride, Smarten Up. Cavassier is going to tip for an outside run. It's now Twisted Ride who's kicked back on, and Twisted Ride is finding a bit more. As a neck in front, Smarten Up could not get past. Cavassier is under a full drive, is 2 lengths back. Twisted Ride and Smarten Up, they're 1-2 with a quarter-mile left to go. Twisted Ride, Smarten Up. Twisted Ride still with a head in front. Smarten Up to the inside. Cavassier is not done. Cavassier is still 2 lengths back, but is chasing these leaders as they approach the 8th pole. Twisted Ride, Smarten Up, shoulder to shoulder here for a final 1/8 of a mile. Smarten Up is trying to push on by. Twisted Ride is not having it. Twisted Ride, Smarten Up. Twisted Ride, Smarten Up. One more try. Smarten Up. Twisted Ride, Smarten Up. Twisted Ride, photo.
Well, Twisted Ride gave us an exciting ride to the finish, and it really was a jockey's race. Have to give a credit to Ruben Silvera. That was beautiful.
And what he did, what was interesting, was that he did let Smarten Up inside him down the backside, so he gave up the position. When they came to the stretch, Smarten Up actually drifted out, bumped with Twisted Ride, and the jockey on Smarten Up, Tony Salgado, actually bobbled in the saddle. This is just Twisted Ride's 3rd career start. Once again, I've got to say it, big, good-looking dude by the leading sire in Maryland, Great Notion. I think he's got quite a future.
Absolutely. Great training job by Kate DeMasi. I'm really happy for the owners and breeders, KCK. This is why people get into the business. Here's more with our winning connections.
Went out for the lead and lost a little bit, then came back on strong.
Yeah, he was pricking his ears down the backside, so I knew Ruben had plenty of horse at that. You know, he was just, you know, he's still learning. This horse is really still learning, but he just showed me a lot of gumption today.
It was a battle down to the stretch.
Yeah, it really was, and I was so proud of his effort. He just kept digging in and being game the whole way. He just took it. I love it. I just loved what I saw today.
This past Wednesday, we had some representatives from our local schools out enjoying the races for our Parks Madness. Here's more on the exciting day.
It was all about the Big Five for Parks Madness on Wednesday, and a few stars of the hardwood came out for a great time.
We got Derek Brantley, Kevin Clifton, Rob Jones, Darren Pearsall, Jerome Dowdell. Howie Evans is here too.
There you go.
Mike picked the winner. Mike picked the winner. We get together as much as possible. We're at a lot of the games. It doesn't take much to get us out.
You having a good time?
Absolutely. We'll be back.
A big day of racing and reminiscing. Games at the Palestra and other venues. Had a nice chance to chat with Speedy Morris and what a great career he had.
I go every year, a couple times a year. I like it. It's a good day, especially when it's nice out.
It's nice to get all the Big Five guys together, isn't it?
It really is, yep. Good guys.
Well, you're here representing Villanova. What's this like being with these guys?
Well, it's great being with these guys. I mean, all the Big Five people. I mean, I'm a Big Five fan since I was a kid, you know, and I coached in the Big Five, so for me, it's a great day.
The number 3 horse, B, Divine Miracle. How could you not go with a name like Divine Miracle? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Go Nova.
So cool to have our Big Five colleges out here. Hopefully we got some new horse racing fans in the process. They sure had a blast. But it's time for our National Races of the week brought to you by the Chapman Auto Group. If their emblem's not on the back of your car or truck, well, you did pay too much. And it's 3-year-olds on the Kentucky Derby Trail, and it's some exciting races. Let's start at the Big A. It's the Grade 3 Gotham, the one-turn mile, $300,000. And keep your eye on the number 9 Morello, because he is impressive.
And he is the even money favorite. And I want to, just for those who don't know, just as you're a big fan, he's named after Tom Morello, who was the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine and other rock bands. So he won his first 2 starts by daylight. He's going off as the even money favorite.
It'd be cool to see Steve Asmussen get his Derby win.
It's an amazing thing. He's approaching 10,000 victories in his career. He's the leading trainer in the history of mankind. I think he's up to 9,600, but he's never won the Derby in something like 21 attempts. This horse, Morello, gives him serious hope.
Oh, he does, with a 96 Beyer speed. That's a serious number. Jose Lezcano getting the ride, but Morello, a serious Derby contender. Let's jump down to Florida. It's the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth going a mile and 16th, $400,000 on the line, and a lot going on in this race. A very tightly compacted field, but the number 2 does break 3 in the stretch. Simplification to get the win with jockey Jose Ortiz.
And what he did, there was so much traffic trouble in this race. The horses were bunched up on top. I think Jose finally decided it's not always best to save ground. It's best to get your horse in the clear. So he steered him to the outside, and he just took off down the stretch. He actually went off as the slight favorite, won by 3.5 lengths. And it was a solid effort. I don't know if it was as impressive as Morello, but it was very good. And Gulfstream's a great place to prep for the bigger events.
Well, he did get the same speed figure as Morello, the 96. Well, let's head to the West Coast, California. It's the Grade 2 San Felipe Stakes, a mile and 16, $400,000 on the line. And it's all about the 6 in this race, Forbidden Kingdom for Papa Mandela, one of my favorites.
And once again, you got an even money favorite, and this horse has everything going for him. And a similarity with Morello in that everyone knows Richard Mandel. He's won 9 Breeders' Cup races. This horse is by American Pharoah, one of the greatest horses in history, made over $8 million. But Richard Mandel's never won the Derby either. So on the Preakness Belmont, he's won 9 Breeders' Cup races, but he's 0 for 6 in the Derby. So Mandel's another one, has missed the big event, but this horse has serious speed and ability.
Well, and he got the highest of the Beyer feed, 98. That's a serious number, and nice win for my racehorse. And hey, if there's 3,000 people that own this horse, they have 3,000 friends that are going to bet and fall in love with horse racing, so you got to love it. Well, it's time for Ion Racing, and my friends down at Tampa Bay Downs have their big day. 5 stakes on the card, including the marquee race, the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby, and the Grade 2 Azeri Stakes out of Oaklawn. So great betting day in horse racing this Saturday. Come join us here at Parks. Well, it's time for our final break. When we come back, we're going to have news and notes. We'll see you right after this break.
Did you know absolutely no taxpayer dollars support the Pennsylvania horse racing industry? In fact, racing generates $1.6 billion that pays taxes, creates jobs, and more, right here in Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our news and notes is brought to you by the Granny Fund, providing continuing education for our backstretch community. We have a little something fun to close out the show. Here, take a look at this clip. We see the jockey break out of the starting gate, and then all of a sudden he's side saddle, but he gets a helping hand from another one of his jock friends.
This proves that you can get by with a little help from your friends. Luckily, he had a friend riding nearby.
Absolutely. Well, Craig, it was a lot of fun having you with me on the show today. You did a great job filling in for Dick. You can definitely talk horse racing all day. But come out to the track. We're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, post time 12:55. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great week. We'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.
And they're off. Speaker's Corner has early speed. Hot Rod Charlie, Midnight Bourbon, American Revolution. Hot Rod Charlie is opening up. Hot Rod Charlie will